Abanawa, Shabashamayim, Kwadash, Hayah, Shamka, Yahweh, Malakwatha, Taba'a, Ratazaka, Hayah, Aisha, Ba'aratazar, Kawa, Hayah, Bashamayim, Lathananawa, Lacham, Kal, Yawam, Wasalachnawa, Chaubwathnawa, Kasalachnawa, Chaubwathyanawa, Wala'a, Tabia Anawa, Manasaya 1, Abal, Hawashayanawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Wa'ala, Wa'atapa Arath, La'ai Walamyam, Aman. Ya Baraka, Ya Baraka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Waya Shamaka, Waya Shamaka, Yahweh, 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 Panyawa Al Yak, Panyawa Al Yak, Waya Khanka, Waya Khanka, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yasha'a Yahweh, Yasha'a Yahweh, Panyawa Al Yak, Panyawa Al Yak, Waya Sham, Waya Sham, Laka Shalom, Laka Shalom, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yahweh, Yahweh, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Bahasham, Yahweh Shah, Yahweh Shah, Barak Rapah, Barak Rapah, Yasha Allah, Yasha Allah.
Spacious air, reflecting the way of life under the Florida sky. Even the lobbies funnel in the great outdoors.
Chosen.
I was set apart for the Jews.
Chosen.
I was set apart for the Jews. Formed in His image.
Chosen. They say the chain of Shaitan is not that strong. They say his time is running out, he ain't got that long. They say murder, murder, kill, this is not that song. Said I won't amount to nothing, they got that wrong. Cause I was set apart, and I was shown the light. And if I get the kingdom, I'll be clothed in white. 1/3 will be delivered, and the rest were blinded. Their fate is set in stone, what you ain't read the fine print? Christ is gonna give a crown to us. In the end, we'll have the nations bowing down to us, with their faces to the ground to us. It's the truth, as crazy as it sounds to us. Jacob forever rules, and we're his precious jewels. Showed us love and patience, put us above the nations. And that's the gospel, thank God for choosing me. Bad news for you, is really good news for me.
I was set apart for the Jews. Chosen.
Chosen.
I was set apart for the Jews. Formed in His
We're not the same as these other
image.
nations. Let me tell you why. We have a different kind of shine, a different kind of mind. The rhythm's not the same, we're on a different type of time. With a different kind of pace, a different kind of race. The season's not the same, we have a different kind of taste. A different kind of salt, we are so not them. Got my sword and my shield, man, I'm so locked in. And when I came to serve Yahweh, put my whole heart in. So I can't sit calm, I'm no Martin. And that's a reach, y'all, chosen to teach y'all. Every Sabbath you can find us in the streets, y'all. Dare ya Allah, my nickname is Priest, y'all. In the gym, they say that I'm a beast, y'all. Set apart, the nations all hate me. Set a trap, they lying in wait for me. Chris Paul, they don't wanna play with me. But if you love me, I'm asking that you pray with me. Cause
I was set apart for the Jews. Chosen.
chosen.
I was set apart for the Jews. Formed in His image.
Chosen. And thou art an holy people unto the Lord thy God. The Lord thy God have chosen thee to be a special people, chosen above all people that's on the face of the earth. That's Deuteronomy 7 and 6. That's you, black and Latin man. Chosen. That's you, black and Latin woman. Yeah. And we the chosen.
Shalom, y'all. Shalom. All right. I want to give all honor, glory, praises to Yahweh Bashem, Yahweh Shai, for allowing us to make it here, right? To be here in front of y'all on this camera. And Lord willing, he's using us to bring out some edification to the people. Just want to say, let everybody know, it's been a okay week, been a decent week, all right? As much as we can expect here in captivity anyway. But it's been a good week. As always, all praise to the Most High. So you can go ahead and get the floor if you want to say anything before we start.
All right, shalom, everybody. Happy Sabbath. Pray everybody's having a good day. Hope you have a blessed Sabbath, and that's all I got right now.
Come. All right, y'all. So I'm not gonna say whether or not this class is gonna be long or short. In my mind, it's gonna be short. You know what I'm saying? But we're gonna see. All right. But it's a bit of information to bring out concerning this topic. Because a lot of our people, they don't necessarily. I don't see a lot of brothers and sisters really talk about Valentine's Day or anything like that. I didn't mean to do that. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I don't see brothers and sisters really talk about this topic too much. You know what I'm saying? So, maybe y'all know this information, maybe y'all don't. And even if you do, it's always good to, refresh. Right? It's always good to refresh. So let me start out by sharing my screen, y'all. All right. Start out by sharing the screen because a lot of people don't really, like I said, think about whether or not this day is really, whether or not it's pagan or anything like that, whether or not we can actually still keep it, since it's not one of the main holidays, So we're going to start out with the same scripture that Elder started out last week, Friday, right? So we're going to go out with Ephesians chapter 5. And we're going to start at verse 6, though.
All right, this is the book of Ephesians, chapter 5, and verse 6. Let no man deceive you with vain words, for because of these things cometh the wrath of Yahweh upon the children of disobedience.
Right? Because if you don't have any knowledge of anything, right, you're going to be deceived, right? So Paul is letting you know, hey, don't let no man deceive you with vain words. Don't let no man sit there and tell you, hey, Valentine's Day ain't like Christmas, where they, literally put Christ to death, or whether we lying and saying it's his birthday, or on Thanksgiving, they say, not they say, but the millions that were slaughtered, right, of our people, right, of our Northern Kingdom brothers and sisters, right? They say it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? It's just a day we give out candy, so on and so forth. Hey, well, they give out candy on Halloween, and we know that's wicked too, right? So let's keep going.
All right, verse 7. Be not ye therefore partakers with them, for ye were sometimes darkness,
Mm-hmm.
and now are ye light in the Lord. Walk as children of light. For the fruit of the Spirit is in all goodness and righteousness and truth,
All right, go ahead.
proving what is acceptable unto the Lord.
right? We have to prove if this thing is acceptable or not, right? Anything we do, we always have to keep the Most High Yahweh at the forefront, right? So if we go into this, right, we're gonna find out that it's not what you think it is, right? We're gonna find that out, and we're gonna know for a surety, right, that this is not acceptable unto the Lord. Right? Go ahead.
Verse 11. And have no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
And that's what we're here to do today. This is what Yahweh has sent us to do, was to reprove those people that are celebrating, right? Whether it be tonight. Actually, no. Some of them do it tonight, tomorrow, right? We're gonna go into the whole spiel, right? So let's get Proverbs chapter 3, right there. Start at verse 30. Hold on, let me go down. Verse 30 and 31.
All right, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 30. Chapter 3 and verse 30. Strive not with the man without cause, if he done thee no harm. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways.
And choose none of his ways, right? We're going to go right into this particular video, right? We're going to go right into this particular video. It's only a couple videos with this class, right? But we're going to be jumping back and forth a little bit. So I'm going to pull this video up, right? And it's literally called...
We all do it. You see a line and wonder, should I?
It's literally called The Dark Origins of... The dark origin and history of St. Valentine's Day, right? Now, of course, I'm gonna pause it again so I can unmute, right? So, of course, you know, this history can definitely be longer than 8 minutes long, right? But we're gonna just get the gist of everything, right? So, like I said, if you have heard this information, and even if you haven't, right, it's always good for a refresher. All right, so let's go. Turn that volume up all the way. Let me widen the screen for y'all so y'all ain't got to see all the sideline stuff.
Valentine's Day. We all know it as a time to celebrate romance and love. But the origins of this festival of roses, chocolate, and Cupid are actually quite dark. In fact, bloody. So what exactly is the story behind this lovey-dovey holiday?
And Salakia, y'all. We're going to get back to that because I actually went way out of order than what I got this stuff written down. So before we do that, we're going to read it first. All right, because I like to read it first, and then we're going to have the video verify some of this information. All right, so Salakia for that. Just moving ahead of time. All right. I hate all these ads on here, man. Stuff is stupid. All right, so we can start right here. All right. So it says Valentine's Day, holiday observed annually February 14th, on which lovers express their affection with greetings and gifts. Valentine's Day did not come to be celebrated as a day of romance until about the 14th century. Right, so you got all of these years, right? You got thousands of years that went past, and all of this time it wasn't celebrated as a day of romance until the 14th century, right? So let's keep going. All right. So now it says, is there a way I can get these dang on ads off of here?
If it got an X button on it, that one, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't see no X button on none of them. All right, so it says, what is the history of Valentine's Day? It says, given their similarities, it has been suggested that Valentine's Day has origins in the Roman festival Lupercalia, held in mid-February, right? And I'm here to tell y'all that it's not just a suggestion. This is real life, right? These things happen, and we're gonna revert to scriptures to even show, right? So it says the festival which celebrated the coming of spring included fertility rites and the pairing off of women with men by lottery. At the end of the 5th century, Pope Gelasius I forbid the celebration of Lupercalia and is sometimes attributed with replacing it with St. Valentine's Day, right? But the true origin of the holiday is vague at best, right? So let's scroll down some more. All right, so now it's going to go into St. Valentine, right? So it says, who was St. Valentine? Right, it says, although there were several Christian martyrs named Valentine, right? And it's about 3 that I found in history, right? But it says the day may have taken its name from a priest who was martyred about 270 CE by Emperor Claudius Gothicus. According to legend, the priest signed a letter from your Valentine to his jailer's daughter, whom he had befriended and by some accounts healed from blindness. All right. So it sounds like that this guy might have been, one of or understudy of the apostles. All right. It says other accounts hold that it was Saint Valentine of Terni, a bishop for whom the holiday was named, though it is possible the two saints were actually one person. Another common legend states that Saint Valentine defied emperor's orders and secretly married couples to spare the husbands from war. It is for this reason that his feast day is associated with love, right? And again, it's not his feast day. This stuff is tied in with Lupercalia, right? And they probably used him to find it out, right? To find it out, to try to get people to celebrate this day, especially during this time now that Valentine's Day is nothing but a business. It's a day to make money, just like any other holiday, right? And they use this like right here, this part right here. It says secretly married couples, right, to spare the husbands from war, right? To do this, you have to have an understanding of exactly what it states in the law. So let's get that real quick. All right. So Deuteronomy 20. And verse number 7.
All right, that's the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 20 and verse 7. And what man is there that have betrothed a wife and have not taken her? Let him go and return unto his house, lest he die in the battle, and another man take her.
All right, so go return into your house. Right, so let's go a couple chapters over. Right, chapter 24 and verse 5.
All right, this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 24 and verse 5. When a man have taken a new wife, he shall not go out to war, neither shall he be charged with any business, but he shall be free at home 1 year, and shall cheer up his wife, which he hath taken.
So cheer up his wife which he has taken. So he can't go out to war, right, during that first year. Right, he had to be at home with his wife and family, right? They making children, so on and so forth. Right, he couldn't go out to war. So according to this article and according to history, Valentine literally had knowledge of this. Right, he had knowledge of this, right, which is one of the first clues to let you know that more than likely this was our people. Right, so let's keep going. So it says, how is Valentine's Day celebrated, right? So it says formal messages or Valentines appeared in the 1500s, and by the late 1700s, commercially printed cards were being used. The first commercial Valentines in the United States were printed in the mid 1800s. Valentines commonly depict Cupid, the Roman god of love, along with hearts. Right? I'm gonna skip that part because I just want to touch on this. Right? Just want to touch on greeting cards such as this. Right? And even just wonder why would they use a naked baby, right? A naked baby to tell somebody how much you love them. Right? We got to think about all of these things that's tied into this day. Right? And everything is going to come together as we flow with the lesson. Right? So just keep that in the back of your minds. Why in the world is they using a naked baby to do this? Right? So let's scroll up. I might even be done with this part, right? Yeah, I'm pretty much kind of done with this, right? Out the Britannica, right? So this is just small information from the Britannica, right? So I found this here, right, in this article, right? So it's called Future Church Now, right? And they did a research, a 7-part research, right? And how, right here, 7-part, this part 7 of this particular research, right? Of the Bible and same-sex relationships, right? The reason why this is coming up because this is what was going on during Lupercalia, right? It was orgies, right? This was the original. I'm not gonna even use Diddy. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna use our enemies, right? Hugh Hefner, right? The original Hugh Hefner is what's his name? Alexander, right? And probably even before that, right? But for this particular topic, right? Hey, Alexander the Greek was the original Hugh Hefner, right? So as y'all can see, this says the Bible and same-sex relationships, part 7, right? Greco-Roman culture and homosexuality, right? So we know that Greco-Roman is literally the time of Alexander, right? And we know that Alexander, as a matter of fact, let's just get it real quick before we get into that. So First Maccabees, chapter 1, you can start at verse 1.
All right, this is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 1. And it happened after that Alexander, son of Philip, the Macedonian, who came out of the land of Chittim, had smitten Darius, king of the Persians and Medes, and he reigned in his stead the first over Greece,
Mm-hmm.
and made many wars, and won many strongholds, and slew the kings of the earth,
All right, go ahead.
and went through to the ends of the earth, and took spoils of many nations, insomuch that the earth was quiet before him. Whereupon he was exalted, and his heart was lifted up.
All right, go ahead.
He gathered a mighty strong host, and ruled over countries, and nations, and kings, who became tributaries unto him. And after these things he fell sick, and perceived that he should die.
All right, so he fell sick and he perceived that he should die. Right, so I went and did just another Britannica search. Right, how did uh, Alexander the Great really die? Right, so this is what came up. Right, because the way that we know it and the way that we were taught from the elders is that this man died, from syphilis. Right, definitely due to the way that he partied. Right, just to put it in a short version. So, let's see. I'm gonna go up and go down soon. Is this thing stuck? All right, here we go. All right, so it says Alexander the Great first fell ill during a days-long series of parties, right? During one of which he collapsed, complaining of a searing pain in his back. It says one likely apocryphal account claims that this incident occurred directly after he attempted, when challenged, to drink an entire crater of wine in one sitting. Right, so this is just somebody doing some research, and this is what they claim that happens, right? So it says a crater, a container that might be likened to a punch bowl, was typically filled up to 6 quarts of wine and water. It says after 10 days of intense fever, Alexander's soldiers were brought in to see him one final time, as reported by the historian Arrian. At that point, the king could no longer speak, but he struggled to raise his head, and gave each man a greeting with his eyes. All right, so let's scroll down. Um, it says, when Alexander was declared dead on June 13th, theories began forming he had been poisoned. Right, after we already know that this guy, literally, it says he partied. Right, the Greeks, the Greco-Roman period, they partied. Now we're going to find out from that other article, once we go back to it, what type of parties they were doing. Right. Um, so as it says, centuries later, modern historians gave their own opinions. Perhaps he had contracted malaria. Perhaps it was pneumonia or typhoid fever. Maybe he was really murdered. Right. Maybe. Right. But I did another search, which I actually got to search it because I didn't pull it up beforehand. So I'm going to move this. All right. We're going to go to do a Google search. So remember, it says typhoid fever, malaria, all of these different things, right? So let's see. We say syphilis. So let's look up some of the symptoms, right? So it says primary. Let me go down. This stuff, it looks so much different when you're doing it on the phone versus on the actual computer. So let's just go. Let me click on this. See if that pops up. All right, nope. Because I just want the main overview. Let me see if I can just read it. Leave the arrow off, right? So it says primary symptoms characterized by a single painless sore at the site of the infection. Secondary syphilis symptoms may include skin rash, swollen lymph nodes, a fever, right? A patchy hair loss. Latent syphilis, this stage may not show any symptoms, but remain infections in the body. Tertiary syphilis, if untreated, can lead to severe health issues affecting the heart, brain, and other organs, right? Which could cause, just like I said in the other article, him to not be able to lift up his head or do anything, right? So when we say syphilis, all of these things, definitely he couldn't do. Says he couldn't even lift up his head, right? So another article, right? So we're going to pass that, right? We're going to go right here. The Greco-Roman view of sex, right? Because we're going to see what type of parties and stuff that they were doing. All right, so it says the Greco-Roman view of sex. The sexual ethics generally accepted in the Greek and Roman world were very different from those we generally hold to today. Women were considered to be inferior to men, and wives were considered property of their husbands. Women ran the home and managed the slaves while men did the work. Upper-born men would engage in public life and government, while lower-born men would do physical labor. But the rules were the same. Men and women lived separate lives. Sexual enjoyment was largely for adult men who indulged their desires with male, right? Let me highlight that, right? With male and female lovers quite openly, right? Notice this is the Greco-Roman view, right? This ain't the Israelite view. This is their view, right? It's the same thing that goes on today, right? Jumping down to the next paragraph, right? Male love, right? Male love was actually extolled as the highest form of love, right? Not man and woman, but male love was extolled as the highest form of love by many philosophers and was not seen as simply fulfilling physical desires. For example, Plato wrote, homosexuality is regarded as shameful by the Ionians and many others under foreign denomination. It is shameful to barbarians because of their despotic government, just as philosophy and athletics are. All right, so let's skip down. We're gonna skip the rest of that, right? So it says male on male, right? So this is a passage from somebody named Plutarch, right? So it says, genuine love has no connection whatsoever with women's quarters. I deny that it is love that you have felt for women and for girls, any more than flies feel love for milk or bees for honey. But that other lacks in housebound love that spends its time in the bosoms and beds of women's, ever pursuing a soft lie, innovated ambient pleasures devoid of manliness and friendship and inspiration. It should be prescribed. So this is somebody that was in that community of the Roman Greco, right? This is their view of it, right? This is their view. This is what they wrote, right? This next paragraph, it says, the primary form that this male sexual satisfaction took was pederasty, right? Literally, the love of boys, right? So this is what they were doing during Lupercalia, right? We wonder why. Remember, I said keep that in the back of your mind. What they put on these cards, right? Cupid, and they depict Cupid as a little baby or young boy or girl, whatever the case may be, right? And they send it to him, and this is supposed to be for love. So this is the stuff that they were into, right, during this period, right? This is during the time of Greeks, and then later adopted by the Romans, right? So it says this was invariably a voluntary relationship between an adult male and a young boy. The adult male assumed the active sexual role, while the younger was passive. Pederasty was not hidden, right? So they didn't even hide it, right? They didn't even hide it. It was not hidden, right? But what? But openly practiced, right? And we wonder why Israelites never wanted to follow after them. This is why the Most High said, don't be like them, right? That's why I opened up with that Ephesians. We have no fellowship with the workers of darkness, right? says almost universally condoned in some quarters, extolled and seen by many as an ideal in the normal course of growing up. Many of the adults engaged in pederasty would have been married. So you got more than likely you got a wife and you doing this, right? You got a woman at home, but you out with a little boy, which is what we know a lot of these priests and pastors of today's time to do, right? It says many of the youths involved submitted to this relationship as a means of being educated or of developing military prowess and skills. As these boys grew up, they will often swap their passive role for a more adult active role, seeking their own passive partner. Right? So this is craziness. Right? This is craziness. So now let's go before we get to the video, let's go back to the scriptures, right? So I want to jump in here, and this is I know you sent this to me, Mike Allah. Um, actually, let me go to the other one first, and I'm gonna change this to chapter 6. So we're going to Second Maccabees, and we're gonna go to chapter 6, and we're gonna start at verse 1.
This is the book of Second Maccabees, chapter 6 and verse 1. Not long after this, the king sent an old man of Athens to compel the Jews to depart from the laws of their fathers and not to live after the laws of Yahweh.
All right, so that's everything that we read that we seen that they were doing, and during that time, during the Greco-Roman time, those are the things. This is just some of the things that they wanted us to depart from. They didn't want us to keep Leviticus 20:13, right? When it tells you that a man should not lie with man as he do with a woman, right? They wanted us to go against that, right? Go ahead.
All right, verse 2. And to pollute also the temple in Jerusalem, and to call it the temple of Jupiter Olympius,
Mm-hmm.
and that in garrison of Jupiter, the defender of strangers, as they did desire that dwelt in the place.
Right. So real quick, right? So Jupiter Olympus, right? This is literally Zeus, right? This is Zeus. When you look it up, you can look up Jupiter Olympus. It's going to tell you that it was dedicated to Zeus. So I just wanted to read that. We're going to read like all the way down to 9, but I'm going to switch the versions so we can literally see exactly, right? Because when you go into the GNT, it's going to tell you exactly who it is, right? So let's start at pick it up at verse 2. I'm not sure if you can see. Can you see that?
Yeah, see that.
Come.
All right, verse 2. He was also to defile their temple by dedicating it to the Olympian god Zeus. The temple on Mount Gerizim was to be officially named Temple of Zeus, the god of hospitality, as the people who lived there had requested.
Mm-hmm.
The oppression was harsh and almost intolerable. Gentiles filled the temple with drinking parties and all sorts of immorality.
And all sorts of what?
Immorality.
And all sorts of immorality. Right? Go ahead.
They even had intercourse with prostitutes there, forbidding objects.
See that? Intercourse with prostitutes there. Right? Forbidding objects were brought into the temple. Right? All sorts of immorality. So when we talk about Lupercalia, right? As a matter of fact, let's
Hey, and Salaki, while you looking for that, right? Like where it says forbidden objects were brought into the temple. This is why even today's day you got all these love stores, so-called Victoria's Secrets. They have a lot of these sex toys, right? And this is what they used to do in those temples. They used to use those objects. That's what it's talking about, the forbidden objects. They were using on one another. And so what we got today in Valentine's Day now, and this in this day of time, this fits it very well because this is built on male and male. When we were growing up, it was male and female, give them a card and some candy and some bears and some chocolate. All those are significant to things. And they do it while you're young. So when you're doing that, what you're doing is like, hey, hey, you're doing the boyfriend and girlfriend thing, what the world wants us to do, right? And it's really is the starting point of fornication. It's the beginning starting point of fornication when you're young. Now today, it's more male and male now. We got today to society where men is dating men and women is dating women. So this is like right in the centuries of the time of the century that we're living in right now. That's what they were doing in this temple. The man and man doing the man, and the women and women. The males are buying the bears for another man, and the woman is buying chocolate and all kind of other stuff and toys. Right? This is what this is all about.
Okay. All right. So we can come back to this. Let's go back. I'm gonna go back to the scripture. All right. So go ahead. You can pick it up at verse 5.
All right, verse 5. And the altar was covered with detestable sacrifices prohibited by our law.
Mm-hmm.
It was impossible to observe the Sabbath, to celebrate any of the traditional festivals, or even so much as to admit to being a Jew.
Right. So it was impossible. Right. It was impossible to even the detestable sacrifices. Right. Some of their sacrifices was even clean. Right. Like they literally did sacrifice goats, right, and lamb, right? But it's what they did with them. And we're gonna find out in the video exactly what they did with them, right? They literally, I'm gonna tell you actually before we even watch it. They took the intestines, right? They took the intestines from the lamb or sheep, and they will whip women, right? Women would literally line up. They would whip women as they took that as a so-called good luck charm that they would be fertile this year. Right?
Matrix.
This is it's just so much wickedness in this world, and our people want to celebrate these things, and all of this stuff is tied to it. Right? Remember, the Lord said in Ecclesiastes that if it was made crooked from the beginning, it could never be made straight.
Okay.
All right. Let's finish reading it. We can read the rest of this, and then we can hop on the video.
Verse 7. Each month when the king's birthday was celebrated, the Jews were compelled by brute force to eat the intestines of sacrificial animals.
See that? This is why they would take these things out. But go ahead.
Then during the festival of honor of the wine of God Dionysus, they were required to wear ivy wreaths on their heads and march in procession.
Right, so this is why you always see them in that Lupercalia. Let me go back and pull it up. Just that little picture here. Yeah, they wearing wreaths. He got a wreath on his head. Right? He literally has a wreath on his head. So, and then also when you see the wine god Dionysus, right, and the KJV is going to be Bacchus, right? It's just giving you exactly who it is in GNT, right? So go ahead, verse 8 and 9.
All right. On the advice of Ptolemy, the neighboring Greek cities were also instructed to require Jews to eat the sacrifices. They were told to put to death every Jew who refused to adopt the Greek way of life. It was easy to see that hard times were ahead.
All right, so it was easy to see that thing, right? So now let's go. Right, now let's go to the video.
We'll have to take a trip to ancient Rome. But before we get going, please like and subscribe. Ancient Rome, a place of diverse, rich culture and history, inspired by the many gods Jupiter, Neptune, Mars, Venus, and more. There were so many festivals in ancient Rome, but today we'll be taking a look at the festival of Lupercalia, celebrated from February 13th to February
I see the
15th.
reefs right there too.
Lupercalia was proto-Valentine's Day.
Whoa. What's that? I just built a budgeting app in Base 44. Guys, need to just.
But it definitely wasn't celebrated the way it is today. Lupercalia was a fertility festival dedicated to Faunus, the Roman god of agriculture, as well as to the Roman founders Romulus and Remus. To begin the festival, members of the Luperci, an order of Roman priests, would gather at a sacred cave where the infants, Romulus and Remus, the founders of Rome, were believed to have been cared for by a.
So, real quick, how in the hell is the infant going to be the founder of Rome? Right? How is that even possible? This is how we know that these Greek mythologists, I don't see how any so-called black man would be into this crap. Right? But let's just, I'm going to rewind.
Hey, you'd be surprised, brother.
Yeah, hey, I know. Hey,
all this stuff.
trust me. It's literally one brother, which, like I said, I don't be on there no more. But Micah Allah in Colorado and Zakaria, they'll definitely know who I'm talking about. That be on Clubhouse. That brother is he love the Greeks. I can't think of his name for nothing. But he love the Greeks. He's into all of that crap. But let me keep going.
Founders of Rome were believed to have been cared for by a she-wolf or lupa. The priests would sacrifice a goat for fertility and a dog for purification. They would then strip the goat's hide into strips, dip them into the sacrificial blood, and take it out to the streets. Men sacrificing goats and dogs. Creepy, but okay, I get it. It was old times. But no, it doesn't end there. After the sacrifice of the goat and dog, men would whip women with the bloody hides of the animals they had just slain. And to put this more into the real atmosphere and picture, the Romans would be intoxicated and without clothes. And far from being fearful, Roman women would line up for the men and welcome the touches of the hides, because it was believed to make them more fertile in the coming year. And this spine-chilling festival actually included a matchmaking lottery, in which all the young women in the city would place their names in a big urn. The city's bachelors would each choose a name and become paired for the year with his chosen woman. These matches.
Now, if this ain't wickedness, I don't know what is. Right? When it literally says that it was almost impossible for us to literally keep our commandments how we kept them, we already know that the father was the one that chose, who his daughter was going to marry. Right? The father chose whether or not he wanted to give his daughter to this man or not. And if they went out of order, that young man had to pay a dowry. Right? It was always laws set up. But this is a free for all. Right? This is literally, right, again, the original Hugh Hefner. Right? It might be worse. Right? We think that we see something when we, watching these things with the Hugh Hefners, right? The things with Diddy that's coming out, stuff like that. We ain't seen nothing. That ain't got nothing on this. Right? But we see where the spirit comes from, especially when you're in love with this world. Right? And that's why they put all of these that's why Greek mythology is heavy in the colleges. Right? That's why they get all of these what they call them, fraternities. Right? And all fraternities, you see all of them Greek letters and all of that stuff like that. I don't read Greek, but I know they mean something.
You do a lot of Greek traditions
to
be initiated in it.
Yeah. Okay, you're exactly right. They pled them pledges.
Okay.
Right, and they got a speech of it for it and everything. And if you don't live up to the speech, Are you against the brotherhood? Or you ain't worth it because you don't want to drink no toilet water and all the other weird stuff that they be doing.
Okay.
Right? Just imagine putting your name in an urn and whoever pull it, you gotta go with them for the year.
Hey, all you doing is selling your soul for friends. You
That's
know what I'm saying? Selling your soul for the friends. It's the same thing how when you get into a gang, you got to get initiated in. When you're dealing with the Bloods and the Crips, it's always about trimming your love, right? Just because you don't really love yourself and you don't know your way in the world, so you go into these things. So that's what the Greeks is known for. They always about foundations of traditions of men and fraternities, man. The police, the KKK, all that is all built on fraternities. The UAW type stuff, all that is built on fraternities.
okay. All right. And this is why I pulled that scripture, because you just said it, right? I'll read it. It says, Jeremiah 2:33. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore thou hast also taught the wicked ones thy ways. Right? So that's hey, I don't even gotta expound on that.
God.
Right? Don't even have to expound on that. So let's keep going.
Often ended in marriage. The ancient Romans may also be responsible for the name of our modern-day love. Emperor Claudius II executed 2 men, both named Valentine on February 14th of different years in the 3rd century. Their martyrdom was honored by the Catholic Church with the celebration of Saint Valentine's Day. Hold on. What?
And I'm gonna pause it while she pauses it, right? So they were literally, I can't necessarily even remember whether or not it was in this video, but these men, right, were beheaded, right? As we know, I think Elder Zahab is the one that got that book on how a lot of the apostles and things like that was put to death, right? We can definitely read in the book of Acts, and we see Stephen stoned to death, right? We know for a fact that someone was beheaded. This is where they had the Romans brought in those guillotines. You know what I'm saying? When they would put you to death, they chopping off your head and both of your hands all at the same time. You know what I'm saying? So for Saint Valentine to be put to death the same way that some of the apostles and things like people like that are people, right? Of course, they're gonna call them Christians during that time. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they still are people nonetheless. Which is why he like, ain't no way I'm about to not have people get married no more. Because if I do that and I stop them, it's a way from husbands to stop going to war, right? And then if they stop going to war, then they can come in and they can they can create babies, right? But if we listen to what the Romans say and we say, hey, nah, don't marry no more, guess what? That's nothing but a tactic to try to eradicate the Jews anyway. Right? So St. Valentine wasn't happening. Let's keep rolling.
How did we just go from pagan Rome to Christianity? Well, after Christianity spread to Rome and other lands, and Emperor Constantine converted to Christianity, he and the church adopted existing pagan rituals and customs into Christianity in order to convert more pagans.
See that? And priest taught on this. He teach on this all the time. It's synchronism. Is it synchronism or syncretism?
Synchronism.
Synchronism, right? They take the ways that the laws, and then they try to use their ways and call it something else, right? And this is no different than what they're doing with literally Lupercalia. You take Lupercalia, right? You take just the original way things are supposed to be, man with woman, right? They're supposed to leave your mother and father, cleave on to your wife. You create a family. You know what I'm saying? So now they're taking, since Saint Valentine was a martyr, right, and was put to death for saying I ain't doing that. Now they try to say, okay, well, we just gonna take him and we're gonna make him the celebration behind Lupercalia, right, where they originally started this little festival from. And we're going to keep pushing it. We're going to push it to our people, or to their people, Salakia, right? And then now you turn it into a day of giving heart candy that's nasty as hell. That candy's so nasty, man. You get heart candy with the I love yous and all of that stuff like that. And then we give it to, like, the adults don't really do that stuff, right? You find that stuff in our children's schools.
Okay.
Right? Son came home yesterday, right, with a bag of candy and all this little stuff like that. And then it had some little girl name on it. You know what I'm saying? Some little girl name. I even asked him. He like, I don't know who that is. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I toss that stuff out. I always tell him I'm tossing it out. Like, you can take it. I'm like, because my son, he young, so he don't really know. You know what I'm saying? What not to take per se. So I just, take it, throw it from him. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we see the target audience is the children, right? So let's keep going.
For example, Christmas was originally a celebration known as Saturnalia. But Valentine's Day wasn't something that was galvanized into Christianity during the time of Constantine. It all happened in the 5th century. So let's fast forward to where it all started. The execution. The Catholic Church recognizes at least 3 different saints named Valentine, all of whom were martyred. One legend contends that Valentine was a priest who served during the 3rd century in Rome. When Emperor Claudius II decided that single men made better soldiers than those with wives and families, he outlawed marriage for young men. Valentine realized the injustice of the decree, defied Claudius, and continued to perform marriages for young lovers in secret. When Valentine's actions were discovered, Claudius ordered that he be put to death. Still, others insist that it was Saint Valentine of Terni, a bishop, who was the true namesake of the holiday. He too was beheaded by Claudius II outside of Rome. Other stories suggest that Claudius may have been killed for attempting to help Christians escape harsh Roman prisons, where they were often persecuted. According to one legend, an imprisoned Valentine actually sent the first Valentine greeting himself after he fell in love with a young girl, possibly his jailer's daughter. Before his death, it is alleged that he wrote her a letter signed "From Your Valentine," an expression that is still used today. Now coming to the time of Pope Gelasius I, he muddled things in the 5th century by combining St. Valentine's Day with Lupercalia to Christianize the pagan holiday and bring in more converts. But the festival now was more of a theatrical interpretation of what it once had been. But at least they put their clothes back on. Around the same time, the Normans celebrated Valentine's Day.
Right? Y'all keep this in mind, right? Valentine's Day. Let's see what this is. Let me go back a little bit. All right, this is for, the ladies, right? This is for the ladies.
Same time, the Normans celebrated Valentine's Day. Gallatin meant lover of women.
Lover of women, right? Let me come out of this. Let's see. This is called Valentine's Day, right? So now, we only got a couple more minutes on that. Before we finish that, right? Let's see something. All right, let's see something. Let's play this video, right? Because there's something that
with Sylvia to find out what's
there's something that is known as Galentine, right? Something that is known as Galentine, right? So let's see what they got to say. See what they say that this is.
up on the web today, Sylvia.
Hey,
listen, it's a big week now.
Yes, tomorrow is a very special day.
Yes, it is.
It's Valentine's Day.
It's what?
Valentine's
What's
Day.
Valentine's Day?
So it's a holiday that's celebrated every year amongst the girls. I mean, guys can be included as well, but
Hold up, what?
Yeah.
All right? She just lied because she said guys can be included. But watch when he started to ask questions, as you clearly seeing her say, "Hey, it's just for the girls," right?
Valentine's Day tomorrow.
Valentine's Day, like for the
13th,
gals.
For the gals.
Y'all made them y'all own day.
It's a beautiful time. You know, you get the girls together. You have a brunch.
Nah, they didn't make it up, right? They didn't make it up. In their mind, they made it up, right? Oh, we change how we do things, right? But as we sing that Gallatin, right? We sing Gallatin, it meant lover of women, right? This is where you get the women on women, right? But now you turn it into, let's see what she say. Let's see what they turn it into.
You can go out, hang out, have cute little arts and crafts that you can do. Every year on the February 13th,
Right,
Valentine's Day.
so if the fellas come up with Valentine's Day,
I think they should.
no.
Keep that in mind, right? Because hey, they done already did something of the sorts, right? But let's keep going.
Hey, she ain't make that up. Hey,
Huh?
real quick. She just speaking on women going on a date, like a man would take her out on a date, and then later on we get it cracking. You know, that's all that is. What she really saying it because she's on the camera, so she got to make it PG. That's all it is. She's speaking the truth with it. She just making it PG.
Okay. And hey, and I'm gonna leave it like I'm not, because I could easily, just pull up social media, whatever. You could type in, and y'all can do it on your own time if you want to see the wickedness. But you just see like all up and down Facebook or any social media that y'all may have, right? Because I'm only on Facebook, but you'll literally see, you type in like a hashtag Valentines, right? You're gonna see a bunch of women that's around women. They twerking, listening to music. They dressed up in little bitty, in booty short pajamas. You know what I'm saying? With hearts and candies all over the pajamas. You know what I'm saying? And they sitting there and they twerking all on each other, drinking, right? Laughing and quote unquote having a good time. Right? What do you think that is literally lovers of women? Right? And who knows what you're doing the more you drink, right? Who knows?
Hey, women in the world, man, a lot of them, not saying all of them, a lot of women in the world, especially today's time, man, hey, they play too much, man. Like when they get the drinking and partying, man, they start doing all kind of stuff, man. You know what I'm saying? Even you got to think about it, even when the times like you got these sex parties, man. What the sex parties there for? They normally they going out there, they want to show some stuff out and everything, but then women start getting a lot of drinks, and then some women get real into it, and then boom, look what you got. You got a debauchery right there and there.
Right. For sure, man, because it's just a bunch of wickedness, right? And she's on here, she's talking about it like it's just some new thing, right?
We know y'all will show up to that so fast.
I think
Nah,
you
y'all
want women
be
to
in
show
there.
up to it to have a little bit of organization. I heard how the fellas get together.
We don't need organization. We don't need. That's why we get together, so it ain't no organization.
Okay.
We need wings and beer,
and that's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Y'all need brunch and an email list and a text thread. And
high cholesterol, gout.
Yeah, we need all of that.
I mean,
that's what men need. We don't need all this other stuff. Valentine's Day.
But what's crazy is, I guess this started on the show Parks and Recreation, like in 2010, and since then it's just been going on, and the girls get together and enjoy themselves.
Valentine's Day, fellas. This is my first time hearing about it. If she's not around tomorrow, she's gone to Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
And what kind of fellas come to Valentine's Day?
It says that this can also include men as well. I don't know.
Do you bring your significant other?
Hold on, let me rewind that. Because you see that? He said, what kind of fellas come? Right? Let's go.
Your significant other?
No, you leave them at home. This is the time to really hang
your significant
as well. It says that this can also include men as well. I don't know.
Do you bring your significant other?
No, you leave them at home. This is the time to really hang out.
Hold on.
Be a whore. I could be a whore. I could be a whore.
It says she said, hey, it says you can bring, the men can come around. And then he asks, do you bring your significant other? Her answer is no. Like, hold on. Like,
Ah,
hey, this Lupercalia.
man, our people love this type of day, man. It's time to be a whore, man. That's all it is. Whoremongers, man.
Okay. All right, whoremongers and whores.
With the friends and get together and have a little time for
and
yourself.
y'all wonder why y'all getting nothing for Valentine's.
Well, this
you
has nothing
wonder
to do with
why
Valentine's
the gifts
Day.
are getting cheaper and cheaper.
Well, what does that have to do with anything?
Because the day before you have this whole other celebration that's not about love.
So
I'm not getting
this is all about love. It's all about love with your friends and maybe even your mom and your sisters and your cousins. This can be a family-oriented event as well. But it's just about, a day for the girls to really let their hair down, have a frittata, have a little mimosa, have a little activity, make some bracelets. I'm hosting Valentine's Day this year, Joe. It's going to be lovely.
Y'all listen to a bunch of Drake records too, don't y'all? It's Drake.
Maybe we'll do a little karaoke. I have a themed cake. There's decorations.
And the whole playlist is nothing but Drake.
Maybe he's on there. A little Kendrick is
Valentine's Day, everybody.
It's wild. Our people is wicked, man.
Okay.
Our people is wicked. This is the stuff that they like to celebrate. This is the stuff that they do, right? So when I actually, because I Google search, Valentine's Day, what is Valentine's Day? And you know how it pops up with the, generic questions or other questions that's somewhat related, right? I'm not going to do it on here because it looks different on the phone screen than the computer screen. So as I was Googling the Valentine's Day thing, right? One of the questions was, what is the male version, right, of Valentine's Day? Right, so this is what came up, right? Right, it's called Valentine's Day. What the hell is Valentine's Day? Right, what is this? It says Valentine's Day is an informal concept celebrating male friendships intended as a counterpart to Valentine's Day, but it has not gained widespread recognition. I wonder why. Right? Actually, I don't wonder why, but I'm just saying. A bunch of fags.
That's exactly what it is, man.
This is my friends. I don't want to get kicked off, but I'm just saying, man. The madness don't stop. And you see what type of spirit that stems from a festival like Lupercalia. This is what you get, right? You see what type of spirit stems from the Greco-Roman view on sex, on how they want and basically desire little boys even over women. And that just leaves the women by themselves to do what? Be with each other. Okay. Right?
Hey, go ahead, Slaki. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
While you go ahead, can I bring a couple scriptures out, man? It's come to mind, but go ahead while you going.
No, you good. You good.
Man, this is crazy, man. Again, man, Valentine's Day and Valentine's Day, man. This is the craziest thing. And this is what ain't nothing new under the sun, what the Bible speaks of, man. And this is why when we go in the book of Romans, you see why Paul wrote these type of things, letters in Romans, because this is what they were doing. Right? And the Israelites, would you say what?
So like, yeah, I got it on there. I got it on here for sure, but you can bring it out. I don't care.
Okay, got you. Well, no, since you got it, I can go another direction, right? But let me start off with this Romans 8 and 15. I'll go a different because you're going to Romans 1, right?
God,
yep, I was gonna go there, but I don't need to. I go a different direction. I'd rather for you to bring it out. You had your lesson for it. Let me just get Romans 8 and 15, Romans 8 and 16 real quick, and then I just want to go to the Maccabees real quick. Right. So this is the reason why, man, Paul wrote these type of letters, because our people were indulging in these things, right? So let me get Romans 8 and 16 first.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of God.
So by us knowing that we are God's chosen people, we know not to dapper in that thing. But see, when you don't know that you are the people of God, this is what you start doing. You start funneling with these things because Israel curious. I mean, if it's wickedness, we're curious to do it because we're so enticed to do whatever that draws us in, and we want to be a part of the fun. And the fun to us is just always wickedness. So yeah, we want to be in these sex parties. We want to be part of the orgies and all that, etc. We want that. Shoot, when you're not in this truth, that's where your mind and your spirit connects with. They got all the stuff they got on the internet. Like it's like Valentine's Day every day when you on the internet. They got all kind of shows where it draws you in, and then all you're thinking about is, hey, how can I get to that one, and how can I get to this one, and when can I hook up? That's all it is.
Wow.
It's a big hookup day. This is a day of whoremongering, right? So let me go back to the Apocrypha. Let me get back to First Maccabees, and let me get chapter 1. And let's go to verse 11, the classic one of all, right? Because this is why what I was saying, Israel loved to do these things, So let me get verse 11.
It's the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1 and verse 11. In those days there went out of Israel wicked men, who persuaded many, saying, let us go and make a covenant with the heathen that are round about us. For since we departed from them, we have had much sorrow.
We were born without them. Like we got to, in order to have fun and indulge in sin, and we can be a part of them, and they'll take care of us. We got to be doing what they doing. Let's make a covenant with the heathens, right? Go ahead.
So this device pleased them well.
Of course, it pleased Israel well because we love wickedness, man. It of course is going to please us well. Go ahead.
Then certain of the people were so forward herein that they went to the king, and who gave them license to do after the ordinances of the heathen. Whereupon they built a place of exercise at Jerusalem according to the customs of the heathen.
So in those exercise places, what do you think was going on after the games is over with? What do you think was going on? Why do you think Israel had an idea, helped build the exercise? Because we seen it from afar and heard the rumor that we want to be a part of all that. We seen everything in the rumors and heard the rumors. Hey, they having sex like this, they doing that. Like, man, I want to be a part of that. And this is the only time where we can feel connected with them and don't even get in trouble. As long as we're breaking our God's laws, we're good. This is why it's always an exercise or some type of what would you call a barbarian auditorium they created. It was for us to fight, and then it was a sex party after the fight. One thing. Let me show this video real quick, and I'm gonna let you go because this happens at the Olympics. This is why they had these Olympic Games, right? Because what we think is they just playing sports, they just having a good time. Man, the Olympics game is the biggest orgy event out of all sports, right? So I'm gonna share my screen real quick, and I'm gonna let a person that was at the Olympic game, he's gonna describe what they did at the Olympics. So let me share this. Can you see my screen?
Okay.
All right, so let me play. This is the ex-basketball player Kevin Garnett. He was in the Olympics before, so he's gonna tell you exactly what was going on in there.
This is all game banger. Day one, when you get there, they got a place that only the athletes can go. So you come in the village, me, Ray Allen, Jason Kidd walk through the village on the first day. We go to the game room. This game room is probably about 10,000 square feet. It's got games, it's got everything you can do in here. Everybody is in the middle hitting the table. Every athlete that's in is in this room hitting the table. As we're walking in, it's dorms. It's about 1,000 people just walking around. It's a small dude, you can't even see him. He got a trash can. We're walking. Finally, he gets to this big old bowl on the table. You don't even know this is a bowl. The man dumps about 10,000 condoms in the middle of the thing. After about 30 seconds, it's not a condom in the go. Security got us out of there. It's like, no, you got to get y'all out of here. They don't let NBA players in the village because it's so influential.
Somebody getting fucked tonight.
Oops, sorry, I didn't mean it. Didn't mean to get that going. So thank you for the comment on that. But y'all know. I stopped it right then and there, right? So y'all know what it is, man. So let me get out of this real quick. Let me stop sharing my screen. So that's exactly what they doing. So This whole thing, the Greco-Roman, all that, etc., it's all the same game. This is a whore event. This is the biggest whore event every 4 years. They do the Olympics, and all this is all planned down with Valentine's Day still plays significant roles because that's all year round. They just got it one day out of the year, but it's an all year thing. This is a it's a Greek and a Roman thing, man. And I land there, bro. I land there.
Okay. 100% correct, right? So let's go. Let's finish this video. I'm gonna go back on it a little bit, about 10 seconds there.
But at least they put their clothes back on. Around the same time, the Normans celebrated Galatine's Day. Galatine meant lover of women. That was likely confused with St. Valentine's Day at some point, in part because they sound alike. As the years went on, the holiday grew sweeter. Chaucer and Shakespeare romanticized it in their work, and it gained popularity throughout Britain and the rest of Europe. During the Middle Ages, it was commonly believed in France and England that February the 14th was the beginning of birds' mating season, which added to the idea that the middle of Valentine's Day should be a day for romance. The English.
So, y'all determining this off some damn animals, bro. Of literal birds, right? And you saying, hey, this must be right because the birds are mating during this time, right? Just, I don't know. It is what it is.
Poet Geoffrey Chaucer was the first to record St. Valentine's Day as a day of romantic celebration in his 1375 poem, Parliament of Fool, writing, "For this was on St. Valentine's Day, when every fool cometh there to choose his mate." Valentine's greetings were popular as far back as the Middle Ages, though written Valentines didn't begin to appear until after 1400. The oldest known Valentines still in existence today was a poem written in 1445 and 1415 by Charles, Duke of Orleans, to his wife while he was imprisoned in the Tower of London following his capture at the Battle of Agincourt. The greeting is now part of the manuscript collection of the British Library in London, England. Several years later, it was believed that King Henry V hired a writer named John Lingate to compose a Valentine note to Catherine of Valois. Now, some of you might be thinking, so what about Cupid? I thought if anything, Valentines might have originated from him.
Yes, but actually no. In fact,
Cupid is often portrayed on Valentine's Day cards as a cherub, launching arrows of love at unsuspecting lovers.
See that? This is one of the most wickedest things ever. What in the hell does a baby know about love? Like, seriously. And we literally, we was in this, right? We was definitely in this. All praise to the Most High. We repented. We repented from it, right? But we never thought about it. Never even looked at it because we never cared. Right, we was that much wrapped up into the Greek and Roman way of doing things that we never even cared. Right? What does a baby got to do with love? It has nothing to. The baby has nothing to do with love. Does it come from two people that love each other? Sure enough, but the baby ain't shot nobody with love. At the end of the day, the man, plants his seed. Yeah. So. This just goes to show you their infatuation with children. That, Lupercalia and just the way that they view, sexual relations, right? It's understandable why you'll have different articles. I forgot the name that I think it was Future Church, right? Future Church Now, that article and things like that. They can come to these conclusions. Number one, because of the Bible. Number two, because of this.
It's also also the symbolic of Molech. The babies is considered as a sacrifice, man. Of sex, a sex sacrifice.
Okay. But the Roman god Cupid has its roots in Greek mythology as the Greek god of love, Eros. Accounts of his birth vary. Some say he is the son of Nyx and Erebus, others of Aphrodite and Ares. Still others suggest he is the son of Iris and Zephyrus, or even Aphrodite.
They don't even know. They don't know who the mama or daddy is. Right? That named about 7, 8 different people. They don't know. But our people want to follow this.
And Zeus, who would have been both his father and grandfather. According to the Greek archaic poets, Eros was a handsome immortal.
We ain't gonna skip past that. Zeus would have been what again?
Ares. Still others suggest he is the son of Iris and Zephyrus, or even Aphrodite and Zeus, who would have been both his father
Hey,
and
pause that real quick. Is that Aphrodite is the same as the same term as the aphrodisiac? Is that what that's referring? Because you know the aphrodisiac is more, hey, you give a baby, you give the girl chocolate and all that, and it represents love. Is that what that's caught up in that same thing too, with the Aphrodite type spirit?
Hey, man, you have to ask somebody else that, to be honest.
I believe it is, man.
It probably is.
Hey, when you get a chance, man, just Google it real quick and see, man. Let's just see if that is, because that's what because you know black people say, man, the aphrodisiac, man. We use it in terms of a fake goddess, man.
God, yep, I'm gonna do it right after this, right? But she just said that Zeus would have been both his father and grandfather. Like what?
I'm not shocked. You know how these people are, man. They love rides, man. That's weird, man.
Yeah.
According to the Greek archaic poets, Eros was a handsome immortal, played with the emotions of gods and men, using golden arrows to incite love and lead in ones to sow aversion. It wasn't until the Hellenistic period that he began to be portrayed as the mischievous chubby child he'd become on Valentine's Day cards. Eventually, the tradition made its way to the New World. The Industrial Revolution ushered in factory-made cards in the 19th century, and in 1919, Hallmark Cards of Kansas City began mass-producing Valentines.
So that's the reason why, right? Just showing that's the reason why I created that thumbnail, because this is what Cupid doing, right? This is exactly what Cupid is doing. He gonna destroy the earth, right? That's exactly what they're doing. They're destroying us with this Roman god, this Greek mythology crap. Yet they're destroying your mind, right? They're destroying the world with this stuff, and our people are walking around blindly. They're going around, they buying these cards and baskets and renting out these rooms and doing all kind of sorts of wickedness. You know what I'm saying? And hey, most of these women and most of these men probably ain't even yours. Probably somebody else's. And you being destroyed by Cupid. This is what he's shooting you with. He's shooting you with some fire. Ain't with no damn love, man. Pull that back up. Okay, boom. All right, so now you said you wanted me to Google.
Yeah, Aphrodite, that so-called goddess Aphrodite. See if it's derived from the same thing as aphrodisiac.
So you want me to just type in the Afro?
Yeah, Aphrodite. I think it was like Aphrodite. Yeah, there it is, Aphrodite. And just put in
Actually, let me type in this thing. It's right here. Let's try this.
But put Aphrodite so it can go into with because you put aphrodisiac, that's just like what we know about today's day. But see if it originated that the name come from the Aphrodite.
Okay, let's see.
Just say is it derived to aphrodisiac?
So is it
derived from aphrodisiac?
Nope, that's not what I want.
APHRODI, I think SIAC or something like that. ISIAC. Try that. Kai. The aphrodisiac is derived from the name Aphrodite. Kai knew it.
The ancient Greek goddess of love. The word aphrodisiac comes from the Greek term aphrodisiakos, which means pertaining to Aphrodite, and is linked to her role as the goddess of love and desire.
And
Yeah,
so this is why in Valentine's Day, this is why they give out bears and flowers, because that's like the sexual connection and the comfort. This is why they do that. So it's a goddess. It's a Greek goddess day that is a whoremongering day. They're the devil, man.
it definitely is, man. Stuff is this is just wicked, man. So now let's go. Now let's go and see. We can really understand why Paul was writing what he wrote, right? It's gonna all make sense, right? We're gonna start. Let's start at verse 16.
All right. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, and verse 16. For I am not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, for it is the power of Yahweh unto salvation to every one that believeth, to the Jew first, and also to the Greek.
All right, read verse 15 real quick.
Verse 15. So, as much as in me is, I am ready to preach the gospel to you that are at Rome also.
And I see why he was ready. Because he's like, man, there's so much wicked crap going on here that, hey, I got to come to Rome. Right? When you look up like commentary, it's all saying like, hey, Paul was excited to go and all that. And Paul was ready to come there and rebuke the hell out of people. Which is why this is the first thing he started doing. Right. So he letting you know, like, hey, I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Yahushua, right? I'm coming to the Jew first, right? Southern kingdom, and then also to the Greek, the Hellenized Jews. Right? Go ahead. Verse 17.
All right, for therein is the righteousness of Yahweh revealed from faith to faith, as it is written, the just shall live by faith.
All right, go ahead.
For the wrath of Yahweh is revealed from heaven against all ungodliness and unrighteousness of men, who hold the truth in unrighteousness.
Right? This is the Greek mythology, Romans, right? All of the stuff that they believe in, that's the truth in unrighteousness. Right? So he letting you know that the Most High, hey, he is against all of that. Right? Go ahead, verse 19.
Because that which may be known of Yahweh is manifest in them, for Yahweh hath showed it unto them.
Mm-hmm.
For the invisible things of him from the creation of the world are clearly seen, being understood by the things that are made, even his eternal power and Godhead, so that they are without excuse.
You don't have an excuse to why you believe in Zeus, why you believe in Aphrodite or whatever her name is, right? Or Cupid or anything of that nature, right? Yeah, whatever it is.
God. Whatever that name is, God.
All right, go ahead. Definitely.
Verse 21. Because that when they knew Yahweh, they glorified him not as Yahweh, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened.
That became vain in Zeus, right? Became vain in Cupid. Right? Became vain in Eros or whatever they're supposed to be Cupid, right? You become vain when you start to believe these things, right? When you start to do, like you brought out in First Maccabees, right? You accept their ways, right? You become vain. That's just an imaginary thing. Them things not even real. They're not even real. The people that did things with other people, they're real. But the things that they saying that they doing it in the name of, it's nothing real about it. It's all in their mind. It's all in their imagination. And this is why they make all of these Hercules movies, all of these different fantasy, you know what I'm saying? The what's the game name? Fantasy something?
Final Fantasy?
Final Fantasy. You know what I'm saying? They turn Final Fantasy into a little movie. They make all of these different cartoons, all of these different heroes, the Batmans, the Supermans, and so on, and they all in spandex. Every last one of them. That should let you know that they freaks, man. Every last one of their heroes got on spandex.
Hey, Peter Pan got spandex on. With some grown up shoes.
Right. Like, come on, bro. Like, they ain't got no regular clothes. You know what I'm saying? Like, why they gotta be in spandex? It's wicked, man. Go ahead, read that verse over.
God, verse 21, man. It says, because that when they knew Yahweh, they glorified him not as Yahweh, neither were thankful, but became vain in their imaginations, and their foolish heart was darkened.
Their foolish heart was darkened. Right, go ahead.
Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools.
Some idiots, read.
And changed the glory of the uncorruptible Yahweh into an image made like to corruptible man, and to birds.
And to who?
And to birds.
Which is why they said that at the end of that video, they said that they made this Valentine's Day thing. It must be right because the birds mate around this time. That's what they said. They made the uncorruptible God into Zeus. This is what Paul is talking about. This is exactly like verbatim, right? You may not necessarily see the word Zeus here, but just like you didn't see necessarily Zeus in Maccabees. But when we switched the version to GNT, it outright said it, right? Or when you Google, like I said, the Olympian, whatever it was, I forgot what it said in the scripture. It just points right back to Zeus. It lets you know who it is. So you change the uncorruptible God, which is Yahweh, into an image made like to corruptible man. It ain't even another black man. It's an Edomite. Right? They all Edomites, and and our people believe in that. Right, so go ahead.
And four-footed beasts and creeping things.
Right, and those four-footed beasts, they got what? That's what the thing called that Alexander had himself on, the Griffin.
Right? The goat thing looking? What is that?
The tiger or no, the leopard.
It's the leopard. It's the leopard. Yeah, because that's when you got the third, when you look at the artwork of the how it's described in Daniel, it described Daniel as Greek was the leopard, so yeah.
Okay. And then the griffin actually is the lion with wings.
Lion that would be considered as Babylon.
Okay.
All right. So, and creeping things. All right. Verse 24. Wherefore Yahweh also gave them up to uncleanness through the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
What they was doing in Lupercalia?
To dishonor their own bodies between themselves.
Hey, between themselves. Go ahead.
Who changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie, and worshipped and served the creature more than the creator.
Hey, they worship Esau. They worship the Greeks. They worship the Romans. Right? They changed the truth of Yahweh into a lie. And these are our own people. Because we're not concerned with what the other nations doing. All right, this is for our own people, and that's it. At the end of the day, they changed the truth of the Most High into a lie. They changed and said that Valentine's Day is cool, that Lupercalia is cool. They did that. Right? But what did the Most High do because of that? Verse 26.
Right, and that's why, and you got in the Colosseums when you're dealing that with Zeus, And then you taking in modern day time, what do you got now in these temples? You got Jesus. Now you take the Z out and put the J in and make it Jesus. And guess what you're doing in those temples? You messing with the little boys again.
Okay. Or bestiality.
Absolutely. God,
they,
absolutely.
they got animals too.
God, absolutely. Anything can get it.
God, for real.
Wicked, man.
and this is why the Most High had to have a law for that, because not only was they doing it, our people seen they was doing it, and we said, "Hey, that looked fun. We want to do it too." The wickedness, literally, man, literally taking out the intestines of goats and slapping women with it. Like, bro, who does that?
Man, and see, that's how you can prove that we are the people of God. Because when we don't have our God, we have no direction. So we follow whatever direction everybody else is doing. But when you see how a lot of us that came to this truth, look at the direction that we are moving to. Right? We were all about building the kingdom. We all about, man, that stuff over there that they doing is wicked. Valentine's Day, man, we dismissed that because we got a direction. And now since that we don't have since our people don't have a direction. So guess what? I think is in Exodus 23. We follow a multitude to do evil.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because there's no direction, right? When you don't have God, you have no direction. So you're capable of doing anything. You want 28?
26.
26, Salakia. All right. So it says, for the cause of Yahweh gave them up unto vile affections. But even their woman did change the natural use into that which is against nature.
Right? Valentines. That's what they did. Or Sloggy. It's Galentine today. Galantine back then.
And
That's what they
Valentine.
did. God, that's what they did. This is literally, I wish I could replace this, right? For even the women did celebrate Galentine's Day. Right? They had a woman freak off. That's what they did. That's what they do. Right? And then who else? Go ahead, verse 27.
And likewise, also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one toward another. Men with men working that which is unseemly.
See that? Stop right there. Let me go right back to this argument. It says men with men working that which is unseemly. Right? This literally says the primary form that this male sexual satisfaction took was pederasty, right? Literally the love of boys, right? So now when we go to Romans and let's read this again.
All right, verse 27. And likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman, burn in their lust one toward another.
They want each other bad, which is crazy. Go ahead.
Men with men working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves that recompense of their error, which was meat.
All right, go ahead.
And even as they did not like to retain Yahweh in their knowledge, Yahweh gave them over to a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient.
Right, since you wanted to do it, hey, guess what? You're gonna be stuck in this. You're not gonna be able to come out. Okay. Right? You're not gonna be able to come out. You are able to repent. You know, those are those ones that are his children. But when you say, hey, forget God, forget the God of the Bible that told me that told me what Leviticus 20 and 13, right? And I can't be with another man. Hey, forget that. I don't want to do that. So since you say you don't want to do that, he says, hey, I'm gonna give you over, right? To a reprobate mind to do those things which are not convenient, right? Read. What are these things?
Hey, Salaki, hey, your thing, I don't know if you know your battery is low.
Yeah, it's all good.
Okay, gotcha.
That's good.
All right. Verse 29. Being filled with all unrighteousness, fornication, wickedness, covetousness, maliciousness, full of envy, murder, debate, deceit, malignity, whisperers, backbiters, haters of Yahweh, despiteful, proud, boasters, inventors of evil things, disobedient to parents,
Mm-hmm.
without understanding, covenant breakers, without natural affection, implacable, unmerciful,
Mm-hmm.
who knowing the judgment of Yahweh, that they which commit such things are worthy of death, not only do the same, but have pleasure in them that do them.
All right. So not only is you doing the same when you celebrating this wicked Valentine's Day, that wicked Galentine's Day, and even more so the wicked Valentine's Day, right? That I never even heard of before I did this lesson,
Okay.
right? Never even heard of it. But when you celebrating these things, right, you are worthy of death, right? The judgment of God, right, is literally obey what He says, keep His commandments. Right? Matter of fact, let's it's simple, man. It's literally simple. I might have the wrong. I might be thinking of the wrong one.
Well, you talking about
Choose
33,
life. Choose.
33 and 15? 33
It's
and 15.
33. So I'm a chapter off.
You can start at 15, but I think it's may connect into 18.
No, not 33. It's not 30. It might be 30.
It got to be 32. It got to be, I don't know, man. It's 30. It got to be 32 and 18. I think
Yeah.
it was right in the path because I know it's around that area.
Nope. It gotta be 30. It gotta be 30 then.
30. Yep, it is. You're right. It's 30. Salakia. It is 30. So I know you can start around that 15 in that area.
Yeah, 15.
God, so yeah, just the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 15. See, I have set before thee this day life and good, and death and evil. In that I command thee this day to love the Lord thy power, to walk in his ways, and to keep his commandments and his statutes and his judgments, that thou mayest live and multiply. And the Lord thy power shall bless thee in the land whither thou goest to possess it.
Mm-hmm.
But if thy heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shall be drawn away and worship other gods and
Do
serve
what?
worship other gods and serve them.
This is what you're doing, right? This is literally what Valentine's Day is all about. It's worshiping other gods, right? Just like any other of these holidays, you're worshiping another god, right? Just this time around, you're worshiping the freak off. That's what you're doing. You're celebrating a freak off. Go ahead, verse 18.
I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and that ye shall not prolong your days upon the land whither thou passest over Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life.
Do what?
Choose life.
Moses, he gave it to you already. He's telling you what to choose, right? He's telling you that you got blessings and cursings. This is life and death, right? He didn't say, okay, just make your choice, right? No, he's telling you what to do. Therefore, choose life. That what?
That both thou and thy seed may live.
All right, read.
I call Salakia. I call heaven and earth to record Salakia, verse 20.
Okay.
That thou mayest love the Lord thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life, and the length of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto the fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob, to give them.
All right, so this is the land that we want to get back to. And we can't get there, celebrating no Lupercalia or anything like that. right? We can't get there. Most High don't want us in that land. Right? Most High don't want us in that land. Right? There was something else that came to mind, right? Especially when we just get down to words and language, right? I don't think that is out of the realm of possibility. And I ain't saying that, hey, I know exactly what I'm talking about. Right. But and I'm not saying that this is 100% facts either. But let's just take the word romance to begin with. Right? The first 5 letters is Roman. Literally. Right? And it ain't out of the realm of possibility that word was spelled and created that way to kind of reiterate what the Romans actually did. Because what they call romance is literally men with men, men with babies, right? Women with women. That's their romance. Right? Romance was created Lupercalia. That's their romance. This is why they wanted to make it a holiday. And they call that romance. Hey, I ain't saying I'm right, but it's convenient for me. All right, but that's it. That's all I got. You know what I'm saying? You can get if you want to bring anything up.
Nah, that pretty much wrapped it up, man. You pretty much had a good lesson well put together for educational purpose of knowing what Valentine's Day is. And man, we just gotta, as Israel, man, we just gotta do better, man. Like we gotta quit following the surfaces what everybody's doing. Like that's our problem, man. We just follow anything just because it seems good and fun. That's why they got the internet. The internet is really based around us so we can follow what's on the internet and start being a part of it, to maintain it in our lives. So all praise to the Most High, man. Being in this truth, you have to really say, being in this truth, man, it's an honor. That the Most High created you and knew you in the womb matter of fact, before you came in the womb, he chose you. And you think about all your family members and all your friends and all the people that's been around your life or your peers, and the Most High chose you. And man, to know this wickedness, what this wicked day is, man, what we need to be doing, how we supposed to observe him and praise him. Because the world has told us how to praise our God, but we never read how God said we supposed to praise him. We never heard it from the horse's mouth. We heard it from men's mouth. So now what we do, since we can read it, the Bible, very clear, we understand that we examine ourselves through the word of God, and then we examine the world compared to the Bible, and we like, nah, this is wicked. This don't even make sense. So now look where we at, man. It's a pleasure and honor that the Most High chose us. And we didn't chose him because guess what? We wouldn't even chose him.
Okay.
We wouldn't even chose him. We would want to do what we want to do. We wouldn't want to be tied into 613 commandments and laws. We want to be tied in my own commandments and laws and whatever the white man presents. But man, I would say, man, the lesson that you brought out, man, it was well edifying. It was well needed for to this time and the season we living in. I give glory and honor to the Most High God for allowing him to put the wisdom in your spirit to bring it out. So glory and honor to the Most High God.
God, right? That's definitely 100% right. All praises to Yahweh, Bashem Yahweh Shai. You know what I'm saying? It's like I said, it's always him. You know what I'm saying? We just the vessels, right? We just the vessels, and we want to bring out the word because we don't want to always be here every Friday. You know what I'm saying? We don't mind, as long as we're here, as long as we got breath in our body, hey, we have a job to do. And that job is to literally bring out the truth of the matter. Right? The Lord literally, he's not asking, he's just making a statement. Who's going to stand up for me against the evildoers? You know what I'm saying? Hey, it's us. We're going to stand up. And other brothers and other congregations that's putting out lessons, they standing up. All of the sisters that's contributing, you know what I'm saying? That's literally holding the households down, you know what I'm saying? Cooking the foods for the feast days, you know what I'm saying? Hey, at the end of the day, we all got a part to play. And as long as we play that part, we can get up out of here. So that's why we continue. We got the week, to come in. If one person can't do something, somebody else stand up in their stead. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, hey, all praise to the Most High. I want y'all to enjoy y'all Shabbat. You know what I'm saying? We literally, Passover is literally less than 2 months away. Right? So let's get our spirits right. You know what I'm saying? We're not waiting till the day before Passover to get rid of the leaven that's in your spirit. Get it out now. Right? And if some of that leaven is Valentine's Day, get this thing out of here.
Yeah.
Ain't no freak offs at Passover, y'all. it ain't happening.
Hey, I hope this lesson ruined somebody's day that thought Valentine's was okay. I hope it did, because hey, we gotta repent, man. That's all. We gotta repent, man.
God. Hey, all praise to the Most High, y'all. Hey, Shalom, Ashar Shabbat. Y'all enjoy y'all Sabbath. Hey, until next time, y'all.
That an Israelite made it. The suckers gon' talk, the cowards gon' hate it. No matter what they say, I'ma go get it done. There's really no choice if you from where I'm from. Some people gon' be glad, others gon' be mad. You juicing off the hate and relapse, so you need rehab. I could show you things, all you see is the rings. Don't get blinded by ice, my brother. Pick a lane, learn a skill that'll get you very well paid. Investing in trades like a monopoly game. All you need is your brain and be willing to change. You'll have obstacles in life, but don't look at it strange. Adapt to your environments, get well rounded. In the laws of the Most High, stay well grounded. Things happen and life goes on. Let the haters hate while you stay strong.
Don't say I can't have it, 'cause that just makes me want it more. Number one status.
Number one.
I gotta do good every time before. Don't be mad at me when I get it.
Don't be mad, bro.
You gon' be mad at me when I get it done.
I'ma get it done.
Don't be mad.
Do what you need to do, there's a king in you. But if talent don't work, it won't be useful. I remember the times of free school lunch. Whatever we didn't eat, moms took it for our brunch. Pops was working hard, now I know how it feels to have extra. He used to bring us meals on wheels. If you know, you know. Free things was a major help. That's why anytime I get, I always try to help. Those who are in need, who know are sincere. It makes me feel good when they smiling from ear to ear. Let them be mad, I'm bearing my cross. All my failures was a lesson, never counted a loss. Edomites make way, cause they know I'm a boss. Sitting in the Lambo, while they sit in the porch. And they wondering how, so they try to converse. The ones that smile in your face are usually the worst.